transform our tomorrow. From the latest breakthrough in green technology to the discovery of humanity's oldest tools, you'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Brett Barry, the host of Soundbeat. Every episode features a recording from Belfer Audio Archive, one of the largest sound archives in the country. We add in a related storyline, whether it be about the performers, the songs, or something else entirely. From vaudeville to vinyl, you'll hear it all on Soundbeat. Soundbeat is produced at the Belfer Audio Archive, Syracuse University Libraries.
Expand your knowledge with the Academic Minute. Each day, travel with us around the world to learn what professors are researching within their specialties and be the first in the know. Listen as we discover the newest green innovations, research the behavioral patterns of animals, and examine how the arts are being studied today. You'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. 8:36, KSJE. You're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, those of you who are watching us live on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're showing you a picture of Chicago, which it looks pretty warm, but it's not. Blue skies and sunshine for now in Chicago, but right now the current temperature is a big 3 degrees, and the high temperature today in Chicago will be 6, and tonight's low is going to be a minus 18 with snow in the forecast. They are part of that polar vortex of cold air that is coming into the mid part of the country and moving to the east. So that's a look at Chicago this morning. Back here at home, outside our studios at San Juan College, it's 24 degrees in Farmington right now. Considerably more balmy than it is in Chicago. Partly sunny skies today in our forecast with a high of 44. We'll see a low of 19 tonight. More sunshine tomorrow with a high of 45 in the region, 48 and sunny on Thursday. Maybe some increasing clouds on Friday with a high of 52. And then we're keeping an eye on this chance of rain for the weekend with a chance of showers on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And temperatures from the 50s down into the mid to upper 40s, and an overnight chance of rain or snow overnight on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'm Scott Michlin. My guest on the radio this morning from the Bloomfield School District, Director of Federal Programs, Patricia Marquez, is here with me this morning. Good morning once again.
Hi, good morning, Scott.
Good to have you with us. And again, we're talking about some of the programs that you are overseeing with Bloomfield Schools, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that with you for this part of the program. One of them are some grants that you are in charge of, some for homeless students and families and things like that. Talk to us a little bit about those.
Right. So we've written a homeless grant last year for our students. We have 221 homeless students that are considered homeless, and homeless is like students who are doubled up, students who are living with other family, extended family, and so
that's the definition of a homeless student, right? Okay.
So we have some criteria. You know, we have parents that fill out a McKinney-Vento form that kind of explains to us where their living situation is, and so we've really kept track of that information, and Santa Fe has recently got a huge grant for $2.3 million to kind of help this northern part of the area because they see there's a need. So we're working with them once they get their grant situated. We have a lot of things going on with this, but Mr. Candelara, he works as our homeless liaison, and he does a really good job supporting our students, and our counselors at the school are amazing. They really keep in touch with the kids and make sure that we're providing everything we can for them. We received over 300 coats this year.
Wow.
So we got
Nice.
180 from KOAT, 7 News,
Right.
and then Farmington helped us out, the homeless liaison there. Paul, he helped us out and gave us 20 additional coats. And then another United Way gave us another 100.
Nice.
So that helps so much, and we give them right to the schools, and it gives the principals and the counselors that opportunity to give the kids a coat when they see them coming in without a jacket. And those are the things that's why I love my job, is because my job is about eliminating barriers. You know, I get to do Title I programs, which we give funding to the teachers and to the students, directly to the students, like for school supplies, different things that they need. Our homeless grant does provide us with money for like toiletries, different things that we can maybe provide, shoes and socks and underwear when they get into a crisis situation, and we spend that money.
Right. And a lot of folks may be thinking, you know, that it's so different from maybe their situation going to school when we're talking about high school or elementary school, and when a child is homeless or maybe just living with relatives, but they don't have their own room or they don't have their own clothes, maybe they get hand-me-down clothes or things like that. That has an impact, right? And into
Definitely.
their trying to concentrate and learn in a classroom, but they didn't have a big
Right.
breakfast. I mean, all these things kind of add up, do they not?
They do. We've worked really hard in Bloomfield to eliminate barriers. I worked with Dr. Mizell. When I first got here, I realized we didn't have universal free lunches. So that was one initiative that we put in place. I put in place with the help of our SNAP program. And wonderful ladies, Evelyn Berry's wonderful. And she works diligently to make sure all the kids have breakfast in the morning and lunch. And, you know, again, the barriers that Bloomfield is working to eliminate. It takes a team. I mean, I can't say that that I'm doing all these things, because everybody needs to work together with all of this.
Sure. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier about
basic needs.
You are serving every student that shows up at
Right.
your door, and if I'm homeless, or if I don't have enough money for lunch, or if I don't have enough money for books, you
Right.
try to find a program that can help me and my family.
Definitely. And the principals are so good about requesting, and, you know, it gets overwhelming. We've run out of some funds, but, you know, that's what the money's for. It's not to keep hold of. It's to spend it for the kids and for the teachers in the classroom. But, yeah, you're right. We get some unique situations, and but again, it's about taking care of those kids and making sure that they don't have to worry about eating or a pair of shoes or some socks. You know, let's get them learning, and maybe they can, you know, make a difference later on. If somebody helps them, maybe they'll realize, you know, I was helped, and they'll help someone else along the way.
Sure. Well, and I'm sure there's a lot of great success stories about children who have shown up to school maybe without a jacket or
Right.
without breakfast, and have gone on to become very successful and graduate and gone on to bigger and
yeah.
wonderful things, and now give back to their communities, as you mentioned.
Definitely. When I was a teacher, you know, we had a lot of different things going on. At Blanco Elementary was a wonderful school where we worked at. It was like a family school, and we really took care of the children there. And they come back and they remember that we took really good care of them. And I think we have many of the students have gone on to do wonderful things. We have music teachers out there. I could name names, but I won't. But I mean,
Okay.
we have wonderful kids out there who are giving back in a really big way. They may not come back to our area, but they're doing some phenomenal things. And Bloomfield's a good place, you know, where I realize that Farmington and Aztec and CCSD, they're all doing the same type of thing too. They're working to help eliminate those barriers. And I think as a county, you know, we've really come together with the Sandy Hook initiative. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit, but
Right.
But with the homeless, that grant is, you know, a great grant. Title I, you know, that's something that we get with all of our schools. Our universal free lunch program, working with that. You know, it's all about just making sure we're taking care of the kids.
Sure. And again, the big idea too is, I guess, for those kids to be able to then concentrate in class and not have those distractions about where am I going to get lunch, or I don't have any lunch money, or where am I going to...
Yeah, don't worry about lunch. We have it. We got you.
Yeah, which is good. Exactly. Yeah. You mentioned the Sandy Hook Initiative, and I do want to ask you a little bit about that, because that's something that, again, you mentioned that how well the school districts work together here in San Juan County, which I think is the envy of other communities around our state and country, but that's another example of how all of you are kind of coming together with this Sandy Hook Initiative, correct?
Right. Unfortunately, the way it happened, Kurt Carpenter and Aztec, we always think of them. Of
course.
Their situation was very difficult, and they're always in our hearts all the time. He's worked really hard to make sure that we have come together to prevent it from happening again.
Right.
So with that, I know in our district, Mr. James Olivas, he works really hard with the safety of our schools. He's in charge of our Say Something program, and that's another initiative that Mr. Carpenter brought in. Farmington and CCSD, they're all doing it. They're doing the Say Something. We have Mr. Cliff Washburn, who's working really hard on working with our police department, our fire department, and engaging all of those people together to make sure that we're really working to build a safe environment for kids.
Right. Lots of work being done, I know, with communication, to be able to communicate quickly to the police, to the fire, in case something were to ever happen inside of a school or outside of a school. I mean, that's really important when seconds count.
Yes, it is. And we are really working hard, and we're hoping that if we get to the mental health aspect of it, it'll really make us, make a change in our community. We have SOS, which is signs of suicide. That's another thing that Mr. Candelaria, he plays some dual roles. He's working with our counselors to talk to students and really support them. There's a lot of depression out there and a lot of things. I mean, we can't control everything. We can't control what happens at home. But we want to let students know that we're here and there's some support systems in place for them. So that's another part of that. And so I think as far as everybody working together, Sandy Hook came down about 3 weeks ago, January 7th, and they have brought the conversation to the table.
And for folks who aren't familiar, which I hope aren't too many that are listening to us this morning or watching us this morning, this idea, the initiative, is that it provides an app on kids' phones and a way to report stuff or talk to somebody and kind of anonymously. Isn't that the whole concept,
That's a Say Something.
Thank you. That's the one.
That's a Say Something app, which is... if students feel like there may, we don't want students to abuse it, of course. We want to make sure that it stays in a good place where people can trust it. And what we do want is we want the students to, be a little mature about it and do the right thing.
Right.
When they notice there's a sign of someone depressed, or if there's something going on, or, the bullying, and to be really... courageous and say something.
Right. They can do that pretty quickly and discreetly and anonymously if they feel like it, or if it's happening to them, they can be connected to a counselor, is my understanding, right then. And so that can start the process almost immediately, which is really important. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and completely no cost.
Right.
Which is wonderful.
All of this has been really wonderful for us. We just signed the MOUs, and I think our county has done an excellent job. Our sheriff department, there's just so many people who play a really important role in making sure that this is all going to work together. And it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see all of us working together as districts to come together for this. So I know we have some rivalry, and, Aztec was always a Bloomfield rival, but, we've really learned that it's a lot more about building a community now. So it's really interesting to see that change.
Well, Mr. Carpenter's fond of saying that on Friday nights, all bets are off and there's that rivalry. But every other night of the week and every other day of the week, you work well together.
Yeah, it's still hard for me. Some days I'll want to do a black and orange day, and I'm like, oh, I'm a Bloomfield Bobcat.
Right.
But I realize, that we do have to come together. It's all about bringing all of us together and helping the kids. I think as educators, it's just difficult to really open our hearts and say, I'm going to help this kid today. Liability. Some parents may, get upset, but I think at the end of the day, if you do the right thing for kids, I think you'll win. So that's where we are with that, and we want to really support our students and get them to a good place.
Well, we hope those kids will continue to win and come back and serve their communities when they do that, right?
I know. That's what I hope. And I'm really lucky that we do have a lot of wonderful kids out there, and wonderful people out there that work. And that's a focus that we need to focus on. I know bad things happen in our community, but everybody has an opportunity to turn it around and do the right thing. And I liked hearing about your story about being a professor and how you get to teach, and it really makes me excited to know that there's people like you who are working for kids.
Well,
students.
Thank you. It's a great profession. I'm always in awe of the people like yourself who've been in it for a number of years and continue to serve and give back. So, Patricia Marcus, thank you for coming in this morning.
Well, thank you. It was an honor. I appreciate it.
Nice to visit with you.
Hi, Mom.
There you go. That's right. We know she's listening, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Hello there.
Well, take care.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
That's Patricia Marcus. She is the Director of Federal Programs for Bloomfield Schools, my guest here on KSJE. Back with more in just a moment, everybody. We'll check on some of the pets available for adoption this week when we come back in just a moment.
In the 1700s, the United States broke from Great Britain. No colony in history.
And its effects. Several factors can change the course of a child's life after trauma, like feeling seen.